And as a business owner, I just feel like it's our duty to give back. I also find that it's a huge retention tool for our employees, for them to take time and to be invested somewhere, whether that's as a board member or as a volunteer. We want to support that as an organization. And, especially for our younger employees, it's a great opportunity for them to feel like they get to have some ownership and some leadership opportunities outside of the agency. So we really encourage that across the board. But then as a company, we have identified specific pillars, whether it's women's issues, whether it's economic development or tourism, specific things that we support as an organization. For our clients, we do a lot of the same thing where we really help them identify what are the things that are important to you and where you feel like you can make the most impact. And then let's make sure that we're aligned there.
Yeah. And how do you balance that kind of philanthropic mindset and civic mindset with profitability?
That is a great question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hard for me, because I would just give it all away probably. But I have a great director of operations or a vice president of operations who said, hey, Nicole, we should probably do what we do for our clients and maybe be a little more specific about what we want to support. So that's part of where the pillars are really important, because then it makes it a little easier to say no, because you can't say yes to everybody. And then, the other thing that I have to tell myself is that we can do more if we are really specific on, certain areas that we want to invest in versus sprinkling our money across, everywhere. And then the other part is that I have a duty to my employees and making sure that we're profitable so that I can support their personal growth and bonuses and raises and those kinds and the amenities that we provide for our employees. And that means I can't necessarily be as philanthropic as my heart sometimes takes me.
Sure. Well, and so what are some of those parameters that you put in place? Because I think a lot of companies have, interest in doing good. They want to. And a lot of times when they get into that, they make gut decisions as opposed to being really thoughtful about how to make the most out of that kind of an investment, like the Google 80-20 mindset, right? Of take 20% and we know what the return is in new product innovation, and we know what that's going to do for the company as well as for the individuals and the employees. But what kind of parameters did you guys put in place?
Well, I mean, like I said, there are some very specific things that we feel very strongly about. I mean, we are a team of all women. So if there are things related to workforce and women or supporting women, that's something that we're very passionate about. So what I'm about to say, I don't want that to take away from the fact that there are some very, just heart decisions that we make in terms of where we give our money. But outside of that, I am a business person, and it is important to think about that through that lens to a certain extent, because it's not always just philanthropic dollars. There's a marketing component to it too. So, if we're going to volunteer on a board, for example, at an executive level, we want to make sure that we're in the room with other people who we do want to be more connected with, and we're going to do great work, and we're going to volunteer, and we're going to put our whole heart and soul into it. But it also has to be something where we feel like we're with like-minded individuals and that we're able to make some movement. When it comes to events and sponsorships and things like that, we do look at, well, is our logo going to be on their website? Are they going to do a social media post? What are some of those deliverables that we get? And that could be the deciding factor between I'm just going to buy 2 tickets, or we will do a sponsorship level that's higher. So those are just some of the things that we look at.